My name is Zachary Butler, and this is for my Math 312 class, History of Mathematics, for Dr. Gillespie at Fayetteville State University. Speaking of Fayetteville State University, I am a senior there. I've been there for 4 years. I plan on graduating in May, and if everything goes accordingly, I will graduate in May. Following my graduation, I will also commission in the world's greatest Air Force. I'm currently in Air Force ROTC. I've been in Air Force ROTC all 4 years I've been in college, and I've enjoyed my time. So one of the questions is, do I have any research or internship experience? On that, I don't technically have any internship or research experience aside from my research studies at Fayetteville State University, but I do have a lot of experience through ROTC and the Air Force. So I contracted with the Air Force in October of 2014 on a scholarship. I got the Type 7 scholarship from a high school scholarship program in Air Force ROTC. So I have been an E3 on reserve status ever since I contracted, and I have enjoyed my time at ROTC and in the Air Force. I have been able to do a lot of different things and go a lot of different places. So if you ask me if I've ever had any internship or research, I've done a lot of network research, if you will. Got to meet a lot of great people. So, I can chronicle it if needed. Starting from my freshman year, I got to go to based down in Charlotte, and got to go to Chicago, meet a lot of different cadets who will be the next leaders in the world's greatest Air Force. Been to Andrews Air Force Base on a PDT, which stands for Personal Development Training. I spent about a week there, and I got to meet a lot of different airmen and see a lot of different AFSCs, which AFSC stands for Air Force Specialty Code. It pretty much is their job that they have in the Air Force. It's analogous to the MOS for the Army. So I got to work with EST, which is base defense, not base defense, base SWAT. It's practically the SWAT team for base. I got to work with firefighters, got to work with fuel people, I got to work with pilots. I got to sit in an F-16. It's very small and too big for it, but it's awesome. Very compact, but very lethal weapons platform. I got to meet some finance people, got to meet some acquisitions people. I got to meet the whole spectrum. Security forces folks, the law enforcement for base. It was amazing. Got to see K9 units, got to hold an M240 Bravo and an M40 A3 sniper rifle. Got to hold a Barrett 50 cal. It's been a great experience. Following that, I also had to go to field training after my sophomore year of college and before my junior year, and I went to Maxwell Air Force Base in Alabama, if I remember correctly. Trained for in garrison is what they call it there, and then I ended up transiting to Camp Shelby Joint Forces Training Center in Mississippi. Got to train there for Air Expeditionary Force, which is a deployed unit. So got to do a lot of fun stuff, lots of drilling around, lots of getting shot at and shooting at people with paintball guns. But it was simulated combat. It was a great experience. Met a lot of new folks there. Been a whole bunch of different places on top of Chicago, like Dallas. Been to Virginia, obviously Andrews Air Force Base, Florida. I've gone all over the eastern coast. So this kind of leads into the next question of what are my plans for the next 5 to 10 years? Well, I already said that I'm commissioning in the world's greatest Air Force, so I will be an officer, and I will get to lead other airmen to execute the jobs and the duties of the Air Force. Meet the mission objectives. Right now I have an RPA slot, and that stands for Remotely Piloted Aircraft, which means I'll get to fly drones. If that all works out, I'll take RPA for a couple of years, and I'm going to train to get myself physically and mentally ready for the Special Tactics Officer career field, which is analogous to the Green Berets of the Army or the Navy SEALs of the Navy, obviously. The Special Tactics Officer, the Special Tactics career field, is a very high deployed, high stress, high contact career field. It's awesome. They do air traffic control, close air support, base defense, base construction. I mean, they go all over the spectrum. So that's really what I want to do. That's my dream. If I get accepted into it, because it's a very long process to get into, very extensive, very, very selective, then I will make that my career. But if not, I will do whatever the Air Force needs me to do. I'll stay with RPA if possible. I may go ALO, which means Air Liaison Officer. It's Air Liaison Officer is in charge of the TAC piece, which is Tactical Air Control Party. What they do is they embed with mainstream ground forces and call in close air support. They're called JTACs, Joint Terminal Air Controller. So that means they're in the field and they're controlling the close air support for the troops in the field, for the troops in contact. So I wouldn't mind doing that as well. That's another application I have to go through, but I have no problem with that. So in a nutshell, that's me. Thank you.